Today is not a routine day anymore. The COVID-19 has shaken the world and brought the entire world to a standstill. But here I am with all of you smiling because we are privileged to be in a country that is striving really hard to protect us all. Professor Dr. Samson Maharana, Dean, Birla School of Commerce, Professor Dr. Bimal Chandra Mishra, Professor Finance and Accounting, Birla Global University, my fellow colleagues, Professor Neha Joshi, Dr. B.P. Vijay Shankar, Dr. Hemant Dhanawat, and to all the participants present here, a very good morning to all of you. I am Lopamudra Nayak and I welcome you all to this webinar on career opportunities in commerce organized by Birla School of Commerce, Birla Global University. We are Indians and we have amazing adaptability. While a lot of business and working class have already upgraded themselves with the technology, but there is still a lot left to do. Let us discuss about a research that was recently conducted by McKinsey.com, where they had examined almost all sectors of the economy, including healthcare, hospitality, and construction business. Well, they have come to a conclusion that the technical feasibility of automatization is the least in the education sector. In spite of having a lot of online classes and digitization of the education sector through the plethora of electronic and digital vehicles available for teaching, yet the essence of teaching is in complex interactions between people. So we at Birla School of Commerce have this sole purpose of organizing this webinar on career opportunities in commerce in order to discuss and deliberate about the different opportunities in commerce as a discipline available to students who are aspiring to build a career in commerce and the different challenges that the discipline has faced and how it has been competing with it. We are here to answer the apprehensions of parents and teachers and students as well, because a lot of examinations have not been conducted and the career decisions that we could have taken 6 months back will not be the same now. So I request you all to please sit back, relax, and to listen to our experts. Today we have with us as panelists Professor Dr. Samson Maharana, who is the Dean Birla School of Commerce. Sir has 37 years of teaching experience in the field of commerce and is prestigious FDP from the IIM Ahmedabad. We also have with us Professor Dr. Bimal Chandra Mishra, Professor Finance and Accounting, Birla Global University, who has a vast experience of 36 years of teaching in commerce and also a lot of experience in administrative places like principal and controller of examinations. So I welcome both of you, sir. So my first question will be to Professor Maharana. So what is your opinion about commerce as a discipline?
Thank you, Lopamudra, for presenting the topic of the webinar and also introducing both the speakers. A very good morning to all the participants and welcome to the Birla School of Commerce organized webinar. You have raised a very fundamental questions. Commerce as a discipline. Commerce is one of the oldest discipline in the professional area. When you talk of commerce, we normally associate commerce with all these financial and economic decisions like income, expenditure, savings, profit, etc. And for a long time, people always associate commerce with business, with accounts keeping, with marketing. And this is a particular course which was introduced in Indian academy long back in 1980-85. And it continued like that because our economy was not very diversified economy. It was a traditional economy. Only during the last 25 to 30 years, we find that Indian economy has diversified and expanded into different areas. And commerce is not known as the commerce for which it was known for a long time. The commerce entire discipline has been restructured and redesigned to cope up with the changes in the economy. Your technology has changed, the business models have changed. There is a globalization, there is a liberalization of the financial sector. New type of regulatory institutions have entered into the Indian market, and all these development, they need new type of skills. Looking at all the development, the commerce curricula has been drastically changed, and now the entire commerce discipline have papers which is a blend of knowledge and skill. Earlier it was mostly knowledge, now it is knowledge and also skill. And as a result of which, commerce discipline or the selecting a career in commerce has become one of the most preferred choices of the students in many of the urban, semi-urban, and also in metropolitan. Now, looking at the commerce vis-a-vis other professional courses, see, commerce is something which gives the foundation, and the foundation in business, finance, and accounting is provided by the commerce discipline. In many of the professional courses, these are all skill-based courses. Commerce students, having obtained their graduation, they try to add on qualification in different professional courses so that they can be employable in the market. So commerce plus other professional courses. Now there is no conflict between commerce and other professional courses because they play a complementary role to each other. Many of the commerce students, they have a career ambition to get into different sectors, different banks, etc., and as a result of which they try to add on more professional qualification to their profile. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for very clearly explaining to our participants how commerce has expanded and upgraded itself to a skill-oriented course. Moving on to Professor Mishra. So commerce is transforming itself day by day and is growing by leaps and bounds. So what is your opinion regarding the social relevance of the discipline?
Thank you, Professor Lopamudra.
Thanks.
I think the aspirants among the participants and those who are already into the stream, their eyebrows must have been raised as to what exactly I am going to speak about the social relevance of commerce education, because the aspirants would now have to make a choice whether they will get into or not. Those who are in the track or in the stream, they will think whether we have chosen the right stream or not. To this I have an answer. After globalization in 1990s, in due course of time, we find the business behavior, the business environment have become more complex and have become more intricate. Intricacies and complexities in the business environment are such that unless one has acquired the required skill, one cannot solve the problem the business is facing. It is commerce education which trains the modern youth for the purpose of solving the intricacies, the complexities of modern business, and to guide the business in the right direction. It develops the required skill and attitude for successful handling of the trade and commerce. Secondly, I would like to point out that there are three sectors of the economy which contribute to the growth of GDP. The agriculture sector, which is the primary sector, the manufacturing sector, which is the secondary sector, and the service sector, otherwise known as the tertiary sector. Among all these three sectors, if we go by statistics, we find that the service sector contributes the highest to the growth of GDP. It enhances the GVA, gross value added, and also increases also contributes the maximum to the growth of GDP. And when we think of the service sector, then we think of commerce, because service sector, commerce, trade, business are intrinsically interwoven with each other. Therefore, a stream of education which is intrinsically interwoven with a sector, which is related with a sector, which contributes the maximum to the growth of GDP of a nation, how can we just perceive, how can we just think that the education has no social relevance? Rather, on the other hand, we can say that this stream of education is more socially relevant. Further, it is commerce education which provides ample opportunities, multiple opportunities in your career. Say, for example, you can go for many things, starting from corporate jobs to teaching to starting your own business. Multiple varieties of career opportunities are offered by commerce education. It generates employment for majority of the population. You may all produce, you may manufacture, but you see, ultimately everything ends up in commerce. Therefore, in my views, commerce education, in comparison to other streams of education, is more socially relevant and important. Thank you, Professor Lobamudra, for the question.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable opinion and for telling us how commerce as a discipline contributes to the society and the GDP. Moving on to the main objective of the webinar, to discuss and deliberate about the different career choices that are available to our students aspiring to build a career in this discipline. My next question will go to Professor Marana. Sir, what is your idea about the different kinds of career opportunities available to students as of now?
The career choice is certainly a very important decision in the life of a student. It is important for the student and also the parents, because it decides about the future. And when you want to select our career, we must look at present and we must make a prediction of the future, the economic condition and the job situation, the skill requirement. And we need to have a very definite plan of action. And this is a very, it's a very sensitive question for the parents all over the globe. When you look at the commerce, I think the opportunities are unlimited. Commerce is one area which Professor Mishra has rightly said. It has application in almost all the sectors of the economy. I will very briefly tell you what are the different career opportunities available to the students of commerce. But before that, I must tell you the career choice is something both on art and also science. You have to look at the qualitative aspect, and also you have to approach in a systematic manner. The knowledge is required, the skill is required, and your aptitude is very important before you select a particular career. Commerce has a traditional pocket where commerce students normally they were getting employed. These are called traditional career path. You have an accountant, you have an auditors, you have a storekeepers, you have the sales representatives. These are the traditional career opportunity available to the students of commerce for a long time, and basically in a family-based business. But these type of jobs, I'll say they have become computerized, they have become automated, and there is no need of any special qualification for that. And commerce students and other students having technical background, they are also getting into this particular career. In spite of that, this is one of the most preferred choice of the commerce students for a long time. Coming back to the second career, a very popular career destination for the commerce students is banking, non-banking financial institutions, and all regulatory bodies, macro financial institutions, insurance companies. I still remember whenever a commerce students get into BCom or MCom, they always appear in different bank examinations. Private banks, public sector bank, insurance companies, even non-banking finance company, they have different type of examinations, and the examination also they test different type of knowledge and skill of the student. And getting into these financial institution is considered to be one of the primary goal of many of the commerce students. The third, in a very important and emerging area of career for the commerce student is all skill-based jobs. When Professor Mishra talked about the services sector, services sector is the most dominating sector of Indian economy, and it contributes around 54-55% to the GDP. When you talk of services sector, one of these sector is the financial services sector. You have a IT sector, you have a aviation sector, you have a infrastructure sector, entertainment sector. They are all services sector. What happened over a period of time, because of the expansion, diversification, and modernization of the services sector, new type of jobs have been created. These jobs were not there 20-30 years back, and they are basically skill jobs. Some of the examples I can tell you: financial analyst, financial consultant, financial planners, forensic auditors, financial engineers, insolvency professionals, risk managers, rating analysts, stockbrokers, wealth managers, fund managers, project consultant, corporate valuers, legal practitioners also. Now, these are the new type of skill-oriented jobs available for the commerce students. So there are some students who want to develop their career in this type of area. These are all knowledge-based economy, and there the compensation is comparatively very hard. Then the fourth type of job opportunity available to the commerce students is basically professional career, about which Professor Mishra made a reference. Commerce students, while pursuing their graduation course, they always enroll themselves into chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, CMA, CFA, CPA, and also they prepare for the entrance examination into CATS, SMAT, JET, etc., etc. So this is another type of career opportunity available to the commerce students. The next is a very specific sector-specific careers. Nowadays, some students they acquire add-on qualification to get into different specific sectors. For example, they acquire qualification like export-import, diploma in export-import, diploma in digital marketing, diploma in IPR, diploma in cyber security, diploma in artificial intelligence, diploma in web designing, diploma in investment analysis, computer application. This is another type of area where sector-specific skill jobs are available to the commerce student, for which they have to acquire additional qualification. Next, another type of job which is also available, it is little technical job, but it is available mostly in the financial services sector. You know, financial service sector is a vast sector, and it has expanded, and there have been a lot of innovation in the institution, in the financial services, in the market. They need special type of professionals, and we have a NSC, we have a BSc. The national stock exchange provide different type of certificate courses like clearing settlement, currency derivative, equity derivative, debt market, algorithm trading, computational finance. Even Bombay Stock Exchange also provide different type of certificate courses. Thus, it is not very difficult to acquire those certificates. The students, along with their BCom, those who are really interested to get into this financial market, they can acquire the certificate courses, and that will improve their credibility in the market, and getting a job in the market is not a problem. The last type of career, which is also very important, is career in teaching, research, and consultancy. The students who want to get into this particular career, they have to have their PG in commerce, then they can go for MPhil, PhD, and they can be absorbed as a teacher, or they can also do consultancy, and some of them also can also be in research institute. These are some of the few career opportunities which are available to the commerce students, but I must tell you that the opportunities are unlimited. As and when the economy expands, globalize, there is a marketization, new type of job opportunities are being created, These are not created exclusively for the commerce students, but the commerce students do enjoy a competitive advantage over other professional students because they have the foundation course behind them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was a very extensive explanation about the different kinds of career opportunities available to students in commerce discipline. So, a lot of our students or participants aspiring to join this discipline belong to business families. So, sir, do you think entrepreneurship is also a career opportunity for students?
It is both an emerging opportunity and also it was there for a long time to come. In fact, many of the commerce students do come from the business family. They have their own families, and after completing the commerce, they just join in the family business and they are very, very successful. But now we cannot depend on the traditional base of entrepreneurs. We are interested to expand and diversify into new class of, we call it a new generation of entrepreneurs. So we have all the provisions where we do encourage the students to start their own ventures. We have specific papers in entrepreneurship, small business, where we teach students what are the basic functions of a small entrepreneurs, how can he mobilize fund from different sources, what are the factors that influence the success or a failure of the entrepreneurs, what are the financial incentives, non-financial incentives available from the government and other promotional institutions. I will never say that just completing a course will make them successful entrepreneurs, but we are providing them the right type of knowledge. We give them idea about the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So when they join in the entrepreneurship line, they will have one step ahead advantage over others. So we are encouraging entrepreneurship, and you will be happy to know that many of our commerce students are highly successful in different type of entrepreneurial venture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable opinion. Moving to Professor Mishra. Sir, what do you think about the multifariousness of commerce as a discipline in this 21st century post-COVID era?
Thank you very much. When you ask me about the multifariousness, I mean the diversity of commerce education in different courses in the 21st century. Now I shall be discussing first about professional courses, then about postgraduate courses. I shall also discuss about how to give a global flavor to one's career. I shall discuss also about ardent courses, and last but not the least, I shall also discuss about entrepreneurship, starting own business, which Professor Maharana has already discussed. Now let me first of all discuss about professional courses. The eternally valuable courses which a commerce student can think of, and which we were also thinking of at the time of getting admitted into the stream, are courses on chartered accountancy, on cost and management accountancy, and company secretary. Basically, I shall give you little bit hints about the structural aspect of these courses. Now, in case of chartered accountancy, the focus is primarily on accounting, auditing, and taxation. And it has 4 stages: foundation, IPCC, articleship, and final. And the regulator of the course is Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Then the cost and management accountancy course, the focus is on cost control, pricing, and you will be astonished to know that the government of India has introduced a separate cadre of Indian cost account service equivalent to IAS and central UPSC services. It has 3 stages: foundation, executive, and professional stages. And lastly, management training. And there is company secretaries. The company secretary course also has 3 stages: the foundation, executive, and professional stages. Now, in case of CMA, it is regulated by the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. In case of company secretary, it is regulated by Institute of Company Secretaries of India. These three are eternally valuable and the evergreen courses a student of commerce can think of when he takes admission into commerce. Now, when a student is admitted into the stream into +3 level, the added advantage of these courses are a student can also simultaneously pursue the foundation level and the IPCC level of Chartered Accountancy course, the foundation level in case of Cost and Management Accountancy course, and the foundation level in case of Company Secretary course. And I want to inform all the participants that these three courses, as you gain more and more experience in course of time, if you want to clear and if you are in job, these three courses reward you more and more in course of time. Now, apart from these three professional courses, there is another professional course which is yet to be explored or which has not been properly or fully explored by the students of commerce, that is professional course in Actuarial Science. The Actuarial Science course is regulated by the Indian Institute of Actuaries of India. The primary focus of this course is on assessment of risk finance and of assessment of risk in finance sector and insurance sector. It is also a regulated course. It has 3 stages: the certificate level, the fellowship level, and the associateship level. Now you are to get into the course through the common entrance test examination conducted by the Indian Institute of Actuaries. And I want to inform the participants that this course, like the earlier 3 professional courses, also is more rewarding, and once you become an associate member of the Institute of Actuaries of India, the salary will not be less than 20 lakhs, because in course of time, with globalization, the risk in finance sector, the risk in insurance sector has become multifold. Now, in order to add a global favor to your career in actuarial science, you can opt for Certified Enterprise Risk Actuaries or SERA, or you can opt for Certified Actuarial Analyst or CAA. Once you clear these courses, your qualification is recognized at a global level and your compensation, works, etc. will be manifold. Now, apart from these 4, the most favored destination of commerce graduate is now into Master of Business Administration. Master of Business Administration, there are areas of specialization like finance, operations, HR, and marketing. Most of the commerce students, after they are become, they prefer to go for a Master of Business Administration course in a good, reputed university. Now, I want to tell them, inform them that if you are going for MBA course, apart from the core area that you choose, you also must have to choose electives which suitable to the modern business environment, like strategy, like retail management, data analysis. Data analysis develops your diagnostic and advisory skill, artificial intelligence, digital marketing, and actuarial science. These are some of the prospective areas, but along with a core area like finance, marketing, HR, and operations, you must have to also choose electives pertaining to these areas because business behavior has become totally unpredictable now. Now, these are the professional courses. Now, let me come to the postgraduate programs available to a commerce student after BCom. He can go for Master of Commerce course. It is one of the traditional courses, core programs of commerce, which specialization in accounting, finance, forensic accounting, taxation, advanced data analytics, banking, and insurance. And we have introduced in Birla Global University forensic accounting. Forensic accounting is a combination of accounting and investigative techniques for the purpose of detecting fraud in financial frauds in business. So forensic accounting is a promising field of accounting. Advanced data analytics.
So yes, here, can I quickly ask you, so what are the different skill-oriented courses which will actually make a commerce student employable, and which of these courses have been actually introduced into the commerce curriculum?
Yes, thank you very much. In Birla School of Commerce, we have introduced a number of courses, skill-oriented courses. You see, as per choice-based credit system, there has to be some skill-oriented, skill enhancement courses. But apart from the stipulated skill enhancement courses, we have added a little bit more to enhance the skill of our students. At undergraduate level, we have introduced digital marketing, fundamentals of export and import management, management of financial institutions, creative communication. You see, creative communication we have introduced. It's an interdisciplinary subject where our students are taught by teachers from journalism and mass comm department. We have introduced entrepreneurial behavior, and at PG level, we have introduced financial institutions and market. We have introduced GST, emerging business law, insurance and risk business, and about forensic accounting. I have already told. In PG level, we have already opened this new optional subject. So many skill-oriented courses have been introduced by our Birla School of Commerce for the purpose of enhancing the skill of our students to make them more employable. And in this connection, I would also like to tell you that in Birla School of Commerce, we are also imparting coaching of foundation, IPCC, and foundation level of other professional courses. So these are the courses which we are running here. We have introduced. Now, apart from MCom, because I was discussing about postgraduate degree courses, apart from MCom, the other master degree course which is available open to a commerce graduate is Master of Business Finance, which is offered by Indian Institute of Finance, New Delhi. It's also a promising postgraduate course. Now, in this connection, I want to tell you, in MCom, you have the option to opt for a corporate job if you choose the right optional, and you can also be a teacher. Professor Mahana was speaking about becoming a teacher. Very frankly telling, when we joined MCom with the sole intention of becoming teachers, and also we became teachers, and we retired as teachers also. And a MCom student also, in addition to that, he can clear his NET, do his PhD and join the teaching career, I think no career is more lucrative than teaching. And he can also appear competitive examinations, because now, previously it was not there, now in UPSC, in OPSC, commerce subjects have been introduced. Commerce and accountancy is an elective subject in UPSC. Now, apart from these MCOM, MBA, etc., some master degree courses which do not involve any mathematics, which a commerce student can opt for: master degree in hotel management, master degree in journalism and mass communication, master degree in event management, master degree in travel and tourism management, master degree in hospitality management. And further, a commerce student can opt for LLB, do his LLM, and can also build his career in law. And if you go by statistics, a number of commerce students have gone to the extent of becoming judges of the High Court and Supreme Court also. So in postgraduate level, these are the postgraduate level. This is the multifariousness in postgraduate level. Now, I would like to also discuss about the global career focus of a commerce student. If a commerce student wants to add a global favor to his career, what courses he must pursue? If accounting is concerned, one can go for Certified Public Accountants, CPA course. It's a globally acknowledged accounting credential. And on daily basis, you will find in different advertisement channels near about 5,000 plus jobs daily in global level for CPA. And the highest accounting qualification is the course that is otherwise known as ACCA, Association of Chartered Certified Accountants of London. This is considered as the highest qualification. Now, my point is, some students, some participants might be thinking, sir, how to get into, there are procedures, but you can pursue these courses after you can pursue these courses after clearing your CA, you can pursue these courses after your 10+2 also. But the duration will differ from the stage you are trying to enter.
Thank you so much, sir. So we will have a lot of questions from the participants. So we will have to quickly move into the question answer session. Both of our panelists have spoken very extensively about the accounting, finance, as well as the entrepreneurship side of taking up commerce as a discipline and as a career. So I would very quickly hand over this session to Professor Neha Joshi for answering the question answers by the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Lopamudra Naik, for the introductory session. And I must also thank our today's panelists, Dr. Samson Maharana and Dr. Bimal Chandra Mishra, for such insightful knowledge about the various options that a student might have if he or she opts for commerce. At the beginning, Professor Lopamudra Naik has very aptly said that today the world is at a standstill. The pandemic has disrupted our normal life as well as the economy, and education sector is not left untouched. It's been almost 2 months since the schools and colleges have been shut down. The examinations are at hold, and this particular, I won't be wrong if I say that this particular phase of the year is very crucial for not only education institution but also for the parents and students, because this is the time where we go for online, we go for entrance examination, result declarations, as well as admission procedure. as everything has been put on hold, I've seen a lot of questions coming from our attendees. And sir, we would like to go on for the questions one by one. So the first question that we are taking up is a query from few faculties, and I'm combining the question and making it as one. They all want to know how can we popularize and make people aware about commerce education in rural as well as in the urban area, because the studies they have shown that there is a decline in the students picking up commerce as a subject. Sir, I would like Dr. Bimal Chand Mishra to answer this question.
Thank you very much, Lopa. It's a very sensible and pertinent question. I have almost, during my career, I have also served the Western Odisha. I have served in the coastal Odisha. And everywhere I find people in the villages, people in the semi-urban areas are not conscious about commerce education. It's a fact. And I want to tell you also, in 1984, I was on a teachers training program to Chennai. At that time also, the commerce education as it was in Odisha and commerce education as it was in Tamil Nadu, if you compare between the two, then it was better in Tamil Nadu than Odisha. We were not conscious about that. Commerce means trade and aids to trade. These are mostly undertaken in urban areas. So now you find in urban areas, people are, to some extent, they have become conscious about the fact that such a stream of education exists, which offers multiple career opportunities. But in rural areas, they are totally ignorant. For this, the teachers, as well as the taught, they have a role. They must have to undertake awareness campaign like education fairs in areas for the purpose of acquainting people that a stream of education exists which offers multiple career opportunities to students.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So the next question that we have is from a potential commerce teacher. She is Pratibha, and she is asking that she is interested in taking teaching as a career option in commerce. But her query is, what are the emerging research area in the field of commerce? For that, I would request Professor Dr. Samson Maharana to kindly answer the question.
This is a very big question, actually. There is no limit of the emerging areas, and the emerging areas keep on changing from time to time, depending on the change in the commercial and economic environment and the financial environment. See, any research, when you talk of any research, it can be a fundamental research, it can be empirical research, it can be analytical, or it can be interdisciplinary. Over a period of time, what we have observed, there is a close relationship between commerce, management, and economics. So any topic of research, my advice is that whenever you select any topic of research, make it interdisciplinary so that you can get the expert advice of teachers of different disciplines. I have selected 2-3 topics for the benefit of the students. I cannot give you an exhaustive list here only, but if you talk to me personally, I can give you a long list. For example, a study of macroeconomic variables affecting the corporate valuation and intersectoral analysis. This can be an empirical study. I can also look at the study of the relationship between the economic crisis and the pattern of India's foreign trade. We can also look at the foreign exchange reserve, the study of source, pattern, and uses. There can be another type of topic, interdisciplinary, cost and benefit analysis of import substitution policy of the government of India. So when you look at any type of topic, before that, one has to find out what is my aptitude, whether I'm interested in finance or in economics or in accounting, any area, and you have to do extensive literature survey. The problem which most of the scholars, research scholars nowadays, on the basis of my own experience, I can say that literature survey has become very easy nowadays, but those type of literature survey, they do not help us. There was a time when we were moving out in India, referring to original literatures in different libraries, taking down the note and doing the literature survey. Now, basically, we are depending entirely on the Google Master. And we try to collect something from the Google, and then we say that this is a literature survey. It may not be possible for us to exactly identify the research problem on the basis of this type of literature survey. So I will advise the potential researchers that let them go for a detailed literature survey based on reading of journal, magazine, newspapers, and then come back to a particular point that this is the research problem, and then from that we can identify the area where we have to do our own research. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would request Dr. Bimal Chand Mishra to kindly add on to it.
Regarding research,
Yes, sir.
many areas of research available to a student of to a scholar are not limited. You can go for finance sector, research on finance. You can go for research on marketing. You can go for research on now you see the students of commerce or researchers on commerce also, they are opting for research in management areas, different management areas. So in my view, there is no limit to research areas so far as commerce is concerned.
Thank you, sir. So the next question that we have is very relevant to the present context. The student wants to know about the future of commerce. Is the future of commerce there in technology? They want to know something about fintech, the much heard word about fintech. I would request Dr. Samson Maharana to answer the query.
It's a very good question, not only for the students of commerce, but all those from other discipline who are interested to get into the banking and financial institution. The banking definition has changed nowadays. You know, entire banking is only marketing of financial services. Banking is no more just accepting deposit or giving credit. The subsidization of the entire banking business has created a lot of scope for application of technology, basically artificial intelligence, cloud computing. And when you go to a particular bank to have your own transaction, hardly you will find a bank which is not computerized in India. Starting from RTGS or your EFT, or maybe transmission of fund, the SWIFT, everything is computerized. Now, what happens over a period of time, the objective of all development of financial technology is to make the transaction very fast. Second, to reduce the cost of transaction. Third is to make it very convenient to the common customers, and also fourth one is to ensure security of the transactions. So there has been a lot of development in financial technology, and institutions, basically academic institutions, now they are providing add-on courses on financial technology, and you'll be glad to know that in Birla Global University they have been offering add-on courses on fintech by involving experts from the regulatory bodies, from the central banks, very senior officers. They are coming and they are guiding the students. They are coaching them. What is this fintech and how they can also acquire this knowledge. I tell you, getting into a banking may be easy, but sustaining in the banking career is not possible unless you are efficient or you are competent in the application or use of financial technology.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Bimal Chandra Mishra, we have a question from Midun, and he wants to know about various options of studying forensic accounting in India.
Forensic accounting, actually, is a new field of accounting. If you ask me about whether he's planning to pursue his career in forensic accounting, yes, forensic accounting has not been so much popular, but in course of time, when financial frauds are there in business, forensic accounting has become popular. So career-wise, if you ask me whether by pursuing forensic accounting one can have a better career, it is very difficult to visualize. But one thing I can say, actually, the certificate course in forensic accounting is offered by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and those who have already cleared their CA, they actually go for this certificate course because of new types of frauds made by business world. Therefore, I think yes, sir. Yes, you can add to it.
I would like to add something to this particular question. See, we have introduced the forensic accounting and fraud detection in our Birla School of Commerce only last year. In most of the Western country, it is a separate discipline. They are offering PG courses, diploma courses in forensic accounting. Forensic accounting and fraud detection has developed because the fraud in the banking sector has multiplied, and new type of fraud, when you develop new technology and there are fraudsters, they come out with new way of diverting your fund from the entire sector. Also, there are fraud on the part of the management, there are fraud on the part of the accountants. So there are frauds at every stage. In forensic accounting, it is a course which is just not for the commerce, because here it is an interdisciplinary course. You need teachers, basic teachers in finance. You need teachers in accounting or auditing, advanced auditing. You need teachers who can teach you how to go for witness redressal. Suppose there is a fraud and there is a person, you should know how to ask him question. And here we have to take the help of lawyers, reputed lawyers. And in the commerce department, we have talked to persons who have retired as very senior police officers. We have talked to the persons who are practicing lawyers in the area of tax and all financial frauds. So this is a very interesting course. And in India, as Professor Mishra has rightly said, it is growing very slowly. And we don't have anything like a specialized course and then there is a career option. But once you have this add-on qualification in forensic accounting, you will have a lot of scope to improve your career in a corporate or in a financial institution.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, I would like to steal the movement and take privilege in saying that we here in Birla School of Commerce do have a specialization in MCOM offering forensic accounting and fraud detection along with accounting and finance. Sir, I think we are running short of time and there are a lot of questions, but one specific question that I would like to pick up, which is very, very important, and from a student's point of view, whenever they, take up a course or they opt for a particular university, is that Akash wants to know about the internship and placements of our college. So I would request Dean, Birla School of Commerce, Dr. Samson Maharana, to kindly answer the question.
We do have, you see, at the graduation level and at the PG level, we have a different mode. In the graduation level, it is not mandatory for the students to go for internship in corporate. There are at least 20-30% students, they are opting for internship. But we have a system where each and every students, they have to write a project report. This is a research report under the guidance of a teacher. And we have a we have a good experience of that, and students have written very good project report last year. But in the MCOM, we have a USP in B School of Commerce, whereas in many of the institutions in MCOM, they have a project report, just as a special paper. But here we have an internship, we call it a SRP. So students will have to go to a company, work there in the financial area, accounting area or marketing area, and they have to submit a project report which is to be evaluated by an internal examiner and a foreign and a external examiner. And we do have 8 credit for that specific paper, and it is becoming very popular, and we are getting very good response from different corporates, both public sector companies and private sector company in Odisha. And this year also I am happy to share with you that we have got response from reputed international banking and financial institutions. There are some problems this year because of this COVID crisis, but we hope that in right time students that can complete their SIP, maybe a little shorter version. So we do have this type of. And the second question you said about placement. The Birla Global University has appointed a person, an officer, placement officer specifically for the Birla School of Commerce. In the first year itself, 5 students immediately they got placement in an insurance company, and the placement process was on because all of a sudden there was a crisis, so we could not complete. But our students are very competent, and I am very sure that we will have no problem in getting placement for most of the students who are pursuing their MCOM.
Thank you, sir. I think with this, we'll come to an end of today's discussion. I would like to conclude by saying that I would like to end by saying that what the world is going through is a difficult time, and history has been a witness of it. Mankind has always emerged from these difficult times brighter and stronger than before. Things will change for sure, and we will change with it too. On this positive note, I would like to thank our today's panelists, Professor Dr. Samson Maharana and Professor Dr. Bimal Chand Mishra, for such insightful knowledge and the various options that the students will have if they opt for commerce. I would also like to thank today's host, Professor Lopamudra Nayak. I would also like to thank my fellow colleagues, Dr. B.P. Vijay Shankar and Dr. Hemant Banawat, for all their cooperation and support. I would like to extend a heartfelt thank to Birla Global University for giving us this platform, and the IT cell of BGU headed by Mr. K.M. Pandey for all his technical expertise. At the end, I would like to thank all the attendees for their active participation, lot of questions, and keen listening. I would just request you all to kindly respond to the feedback mail that will follow this session, so that we'll have room. We know the rooms where we need more rectifications. Thank you all, and have a great day ahead.
So thank you.